Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I will share my screen with you, and on the screen, inshallah, you will be able to see your question paper. Not this one. Grade 10 Physics Test 2. Yes, on state of matter and pressure, effect of heat on matter, reflection of light. Let us go through it, okay? During the test, I actually did not collect your email addresses. That is why I wasn't able to, send you the scores through your mail ID. But now, inshallah, we will go through it, and everyone know that what you marked, right? So according to that, you can understand that whether you answered a particular question correctly or not. Huh? So the first one, you can see when the mercury level rises gradually, it indicates, okay, when the mercury level rises, we mean in barometer, okay. I should have actually, particularly mentioned that I'm talking about barometer. So in barometer, when the mercury level rises, that means the pressure is increasing. And when the pressure is increasing, the weather will be good, okay, the weather will be dry and clear. And here you can see that all other three options are, similar. Possibility of rain, possibility of a storm, depression, all three of them are similar, okay? So in such cases where you do not know the exact answer, okay, you can use this technique to find out the correct answer. What is that technique? Method of elimination. You will see that, three of the option will be similar to each other, one will be different. So our common sense says that the different one is going to be the correct answer, right? So please think this way in the exam. Hey, so the next one, if two bodies of equal masses have volume ratio of 4:2, then the ratio of their density. Okay, so we are talking about volume ratio. Volume ratio is given as 4:2. Now 4:2 means 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. That means the ratio is actually 2:1. Then we have been asked to find out the ratio of density. Okay, what will be the ratio in case of their density? Now what is the relationship between the volume and density? Rho is equal to mass divided by volume, right? So if mass is equal, mass is constant, so I can take m out of the equation and this equal sign will be converted into proportional, and it will be rho is proportional to 1 by v. That means inversely proportional, right? If one increases, another one will decrease in the same proportion. So that means, as you can see, the volume is becoming half over here. So what will happen? The density will become double. Opposite relation, right? Or you can just write it in this way, you can just reverse it, okay? 1:2. As the relationship is opposite, that is why we will just reverse it, okay? But in case you are said that volume is constant and mass, what is the relationship with mass? That time it will be rho proportional to m, right? So for that case, is masses ratio is 2:1, density also will be 2:1, okay? Because this is directly proportional relation. But now we are dealing with inversely proportional relation. That is why this ratio has to be reversed, okay? I hope you understood. If at any point anybody has any doubt, then you may unmute yourself and let me know. Number 3 says that a body of mass 2 kg and density 2 kg per meter cube is submerged in water. What will be the force of buoyancy acting on it? We know that buoyancy is equal to rho Vg or V rho G. Okay. Now what we need, volume of the displaced liquid. Volume of the displaced liquid is equal to the volume of the object. Now what is the volume of the object? How can we calculate? If you notice, the mass and density is given. So from mass and density, I can easily calculate the volume, right? So how can I calculate? Volume will be equal to mass divided by rho. Mass is 2, density is 2, so volume is 1. So the value of volume is 1 into rho, in which liquid we submerge it. So then quarter 1000 into G is 9.8. So if you multiply it, it will be 9800 Newton. Okay. So the number 1 will be the correct answer. Then we have the solid which contract while melting. The best example of it is water. Okay. While the ice is melted, it contracts, and while the water is frozen back into ice, it expands. Water is an exceptional substance. Okay. Acha. So with increase of pressure, the melting point of such thing, what will happen? If you increase the pressure, the melting point will go down. Okay. So the melting point will decrease. Nothing to discuss. You have to just keep it in your mind. The coefficient of linear expansion doesn't depend on, okay, material of the substance. Obviously on it depends. For copper, the coefficient of linear expansion will have a particular value. When you take iron, definitely it will have different value, right? For a particular material, it is constant, but whenever you change the material, it will change. So definitely it depends on that. Initial length. Obviously, it depends on initial length. How we can understand? Coefficient of linear expansion is alpha. So in the equation of alpha or expression of alpha, you use L1, right? That is the initial length. So definitely initial length changes, then alpha will change. Then change of temperature. Definitely change of temperature also is present in the expression of coefficient of linear expansion. So it will depend on that. But weight of the body, it doesn't affect it anyway. Whatever may be the weight of the body, okay, coefficient of linear expansion is not going to depend on it because in the expression it is not there. Then what is the heat capacity? Heat capacity means C, right? Heat capacity, C is equal to ms, mass into specific uh, specific gravity না কি যেন ভুলে গেলাম, specific heat, sorry, mass into specific heat. Okay, so the mass is given as 5 kg and specific heat is given as 200 joule per kg per Kelvin. Okay, so 5 into, it will be 4200. So what will be the answer? Oh sorry, 4200, 200 likha na, sorry, 200. 1000. 5 into 200 gives us 1000. Then we have find the required amount of heat that needs to be taken out to decrease the temperature by 10 Kelvin. Okay, how much amount? We are talking about amount of heat. Okay, so definitely we have to calculate Q. Now to calculate Q, we know two equations, Ms del theta and MLF. The first one we use whenever there is change of temperature, and the second one we use whenever there is change of heat. Okay, it is latent heat of fusion for melting. If it is vaporization, then it will be LV. Okay, so we will focus on ms del theta. Why? Because in the question it mentions that the temperature is changing. So find the required amount of heat that needs to be taken out to decrease the temperature by 10 Kelvin. That means temperature change is 10 Kelvin, and we are taking it out of water. Okay, from water of 49 Newton weight. So water specific heat, it is 4200 into mass. We need mass, but mass is not given, but weight is given 49 Newton. So mg, W is equal to mg 49, then m is equal to 49 divided by 9.8. So it will be 5. So you will put 5 here. So 5 into 4200 into 10. I guess it is 21, then 40. Option number C. Okay. Then what is the value of linear magnification when the object is kept at a distance of radius of curvature? Okay. So when the object is kept at a distance equal to radius of curvature, at what point it is situated actually? What is the point? Name of the point where the object is situated? Okay. So if this is center of curvature and this is principal focus, we know that the distance from center of curvature to the pole, that is equal to radius of curvature. So from mirror, if you are keeping an object at a distance of radius of curvature, you are actually keeping the object at center of curvature. Now we already discussed about 6 possible scenario for concave mirror, right? So if the object is a center of curvature, if you remember, you will get the image at the center of curvature in inverted position, and they will be equal to each other, right? Object size will be equal to image size. So So that means m is equal to, we know that L prime by L. L prime is the image size and L is the object size, which both of them are equal to each other. So if both of them are equal to each other, it will be equal to 1, right? 5 by 5, 10 by 10, whatever the size is, okay? If they're equal to each other, then it is going to be 1 only. Acha. Then we have the height of image is considered negative. Okay. Now generally we think that the height can never be negative actually, but here the height can be negative. When the image is inverted. Okay, let me write it in this way. L prime is considered positive when the image is erect, and it is considered negative when the image is inverted. Then distance of object, this is positive when it is real, and it is negative when it is virtual. Okay, so here we can see that the length of the image or height of the image is considered negative when it is inverted. Now whenever we get inverted image, that is real also, right? So remember, real image is inverted. Real and inverted, they are always together. You'll never get a real image that is erect. Okay, real inverted or virtual erect. Okay, so real image also will give you the value of L prime as negative, because real images are always inverted image. Acha. So here the answer will be inverted. Okay. Then we have the next question. The distance of image is taken negative when it is, tick all correct answer. There might be some questions like this. Okay, there might be some questions like this where you have to tick more than one correct answer, and those will be, boxes. Here you can see there is only one correct answer and they are circle, but here these are check boxes. You have to mark all the correct answer. Okay, so the distance image is taken negative when the distance image is negative, when it is virtual, and whenever it is virtual it is erect. So we have to mark virtual and erect. Here you can see virtual is there and erect is there. Also, you have to mark formed behind the mirror. This is also true. Why? Because virtual images are formed behind the mirror and real images are formed in front of the mirror. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you need to get these things very clear. Okay, whenever anything is happening in front of the mirror, it is real and they will be considered positive. Anything taking place behind the mirror, they are virtual and they will be considered as negative. Okay, and in case of height of the image, if it is erect, positive. If it is inverted, then negative. Okay, now then number one, when light ray incidents along radius of curvature, it is reflected back. We know that it will be reflected back along the same way. Okay, because whenever this is one of the three rules of ray diagram. Okay, we know that when light ray incidents parallel to principal axis, it will pass through principal focus, or when it comes to principal focus, it will pass through parallelly to the principal axis. But what about when the light ray comes through the center of curvature? Then what will happen? Okay, it will be reflected back along the same way. Okay, it will pass through center of curvature, and also we can say that it will be reflected back along the same path. Why this is like this? Because radius, this is radius, right? From center to the circle, any point you connect, that will be radius, and radius is perpendicular to the tangent drawn at that point, right? So perpendicularly, if it is the incidence, then it will be reflected back perpendicularly itself, right? Okay. So here we can say through principal focus, no. Parallel to principal axis, no. Through center of curvature, yes. And back along the same path, yes. Okay, so the last two will be correct answer. The last one is when linear magnification is negative, when the image is, okay, linear magnification will be negative. When this will be the case, let us see. We know that the linear magnification has got an equation, m is equal to L prime by L. Okay, so if any one of them is negative, then only magnification will be negative. What I said, if any one of them is negative, then the magnification will be negative. So for our case, whatever we study in SSC level, there you will never get the height of the object negative, because height of the object is always kept in the upward direction. So that is why it is considered as negative. Okay, sorry, positive. So L here is always positive. So in order to get magnification negative, which is our desired case according to the question, L prime must be negative. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay, so if L prime has to be negative, when L prime is negative, when it is inverted, and whenever the object is image is inverted, it is, sorry, no, it is real, right? Whenever it is inverted, it is real also. Okay, and real images are in front of the mirror, not behind. Okay, so let us see. Number one option, real, yes, we will put it correct. And virtual, no. Erect, no. Inverted, yes. Found in front of the mirror, yes. Found behind the mirror, no. Okay, so there are three correct options, and there 3 marks will be awarded if you can, you know, put tick mark on all three of them. Okay, and if you make any mistake, let us say you mark 2 correct and 1 wrong, then 0. You will not be awarded any mark for this. Okay, because if you mark any one of them wrong, that means you don't know actually about this properly. Okay, so you don't deserve any mark. Okay, so that is why whenever when your basic is clear, you will be able to mark all three of the correct answer, and you will be awarded 3 marks. So some question, might be like this in the final exam. Okay, 30 marks MCQ doesn't actually mean that 30 MCQ questions will be there. There might be 20 questions. Okay, and the weightage will add up to 30. Some question might be of 3 marks, some question might be of 2 marks. Okay, and some questions actually involve some calculation, right? So those calculation take some time, and you deserve actually more mark for those questions. So that is why I will be awarding some more marks for those questions. Anyway, the time is going to be 30 minutes only. Okay, whatever the number of question may be, the time will be 30 minutes. So we are done with this question paper. Before I stop sharing my screen, anybody wants to ask anything?
So can you say which question is like how many marks?
Here
in this test, yeah.
কিভাবে দেখে?
Actually, every time like সাইডের মধ্যে লেখা থাকে, এবার লেখা ছিল না কোনটা কত।
এখানে বোধহয় আমি আসলে যে সেটিংস এর মধ্যে এটা দিতে ভুলে গেছিলাম। এটা হ্যাঁ সেটিংস এর মধ্যে দিতে ভুলে গেছিলাম আসলে, এই জন্য। আমি ভাবছিলাম কোথায় যে দেখে। এই যে কালেক্ট ইমেল অ্যাড্রেসটা দেই নাই, তো এই কারণে আসলে তোমাদের ইমেইলে পাঠাতে পারিনি। এটা দিলে তাহলে আর সমস্যা হতো না।
ইমেল অ্যাড্রেসটা থাকলে কত মস্ত হতো।
আচ্ছা, এই যে পয়েন্ট ভ্যালু, এটা দিলে এখন বোধহয় দেখতে পারবা। এখনো দেখা যাচ্ছে না বোধহয়, না? এটা হচ্ছে ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল, এটা আসলে সবার সামনে দেখাইতে চাচ্ছিলাম না। আচ্ছা, এখানে আমরা নিশারটা একটু দেখি না, নিশারটা কোনটা জানি, কিভাবে বাই করে ডাইরেক্ট। এভাবে দেখানোটা ঠিক হচ্ছে না, তোমরা সবাই সবার মার্ক দেখে দিতেছ। আচ্ছা ওকে, যাই হোক, এটা তোমরা যদি আসলে বলতে পারি যে কোনটাতে আসলে কত মার্ক। কোনটাটা জানতে চাও বলো? এটাতে 1 মার্ক,
অ্যাকচুয়ালি সবগুলি জানতে চাই, লাইক এটা আমাদেরকে লাইক মিন্স এক্সামের মধ্যে হেল্প করবে, লাইক একটা আইডিয়া দিবে যে লাইক কোন রকম এক টেস্ট কত মার্ক আসতে পারে, কোন রকম এমসিকিউ কত মার্ক আসতে পারে।
ওটা অবশ্য কোশ্চেনের সঙ্গে পাশে লেখা থাকবে। এখন আসলে আজকে অপশনটা সিলেক্ট করতে ভুলে গেছি তো আগে, এই কারণ দেখা যাচ্ছে না। যাই হোক, এই যে মনে করো এই টাইপের কোশ্চেন যেখানে একটু ক্যালকুলেশন আছে, ওকে, সিম্পল একটা ফর্মুলা দিলেই আসলে না, এখানে দুইটা অ্যাপ্লিকেশন বলে না, এখানে রুট ডেনসিটির ইকুয়েশন লিখতে হয়, আবার হচ্ছে বোনসির ইকুয়েশন লিখতে হয় না। তো এই ধরনের যেখানে দুইটা অ্যাপ্লাই করতে হবে সেখানে 3 মার্ক থাকবে, এগুলো 1 মার্ক। 4:2, 2:1 এটা খুবই সিম্পলি হয়ে যায়, সো এটা 1 মার্ক। তারপর হচ্ছে এটা 2 মার্কের জন্য হতে পারে বিকজ এটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি ইনক্লুড সাম ক্যালকুলেশন। ওকে, এটা 1 মার্ক বিকজ এটা সিম্পল একটা ইনফরমেশন, দেন ডাজ নট ডিপেন্ড অন, এটাও 1 মার্ক। এটা একটু ক্যালকুলেশন আছে, সো এটা 2 মার্ক। ওকে, এটা জাস্ট 5 আর 200 মাল্টিপ্লাই করলে হয়ে যায়, একটা মাত্র ফর্মুলার অ্যাপ্লিকেশন, সো এই কারণে 2 মার্ক। দেন এখানে এটা হচ্ছে 3 মার্ক, এখানে বেশ ভালোই ক্যালকুলেশন আছে। ওয়েটকে আগে মাসে কনভার্ট করতে হবে, দেন তারপরে ওই যে কিউ বের করতে হবে, কিউ টু টাইমস থেকে, সো এখানে 3 মার্ক। আচ্ছা, এগুলো তো মোটামুটি বুঝতে পারছো। তারপর চেক বক্সের কথা বলি। এখানে মনে করো কারেক্ট আনসার হচ্ছে কয়টা, ভার্চুয়াল, ইরেক্ট আর তিনটা চুজ করতে হবে না, সো 3 মার্ক। যেখানে মনে করো দুইটা কারেক্ট আনসার চুজ করতে হবে, যেমন এখানে দুইটা কারেক্ট আনসার চুজ করতে হবে, সো এখানে 2 মার্ক, ঠিক আছে। আবার এখানে 3টা কারেক্ট আনসার চুজ করতে হয়, সো এখানে 3 মার্ক, এরকম আর কি, বুঝতে পারছো?
ওকে স্যার।
তাহলে ফাইনাল এক্সামের কোশ্চেন পেপারে তোমরা পাশে দেখতে পারবা যে মানে কোনটাতে আসলে কত মার্ক। ওকে, সো সানডেতে তোমাদের যে নরমাল ক্লাস টাইম, আচ্ছা আমি জানাবো। ওকে, সানডে আসলে সকালবেলা হয়তো একটু বিজি থাকতে পারি, তো আচ্ছা এখানে ভিডিওটা শেষ করে দিই।